What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters, Lynn Nguyen, Scott A. Williams, Benita Osuna, Yulas Yasil, Emerald Dentra, Shavone Matthews, Jeffrey Maple, BioGeek932, Joseph Allen, and Blue Debut. Thank you very much for your support, and if you want to support us on Patreon, feel free to click the link below to find out more. We'll see you there. I know you've been waiting for it, but the time has come for us to finally finish up Sooubway Part 3 and 4.
You mean Sooubway?
Sooubway. Yeah, look at, the stunner shades over there with the Ray-Bans.
Nobody said anything about what I said in that video. That one time I was kind of disappointed. I was like, I was hoping like it might get back to him and it might get back to her, but oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah, you were talking about that chick.
Jayden.
Yeah.
Swing. Maybe eventually it'll happen.
I not so subtly dropped that James should tell Jayden if she's ever in East Tennessee, I would take her out for ice cream if she's interested.
It's right beside you.
Out there. I didn't even turn it on or anything.
Go ahead and turn it on. Let's do a quick test real quick.
Oh yeah. I didn't even...
Hello.
Yeah, you're good.
I didn't waste any time getting a hammer time when I got home today.
Of course. I mean, he's got a White Claw in his lap, and he already took half a shot of Jack D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hobo whiskey, evidently.
Hobo.
Which I wasn't aware of at the time.
You want to tell that story there, Nick?
What? Oh, yeah.
The hobo whiskey.
Yeah, I had a hobo in Johnson City give me some whiskey the other night in like one of those little airplane bottles.
Yeah.
And then I took a half a shot of it and then gave it to Chad. He was like, oh, thank you. And then I'm like, yeah, hobo in Johnson City gave me that. And he was like, oh, great. That makes me feel great about it.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it was sealed.
You know what?
Should be fine.
Speaking
I drank some of his unsealed
crossed.
whiskey while I was down there, and I'm still fine right now.
Really?
As far as I know.
Dude, speaking of airplanes, I actually found this out the other day. If we were to drive to Asheville, North Carolina, do you know that Allegiant Air, the ultra cheap airline, if we were to fly there, do you know where we could go for just $84?
Where?
New York friggin' City for $84.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
That's
One way?
awesome. No,
No, that's
round
too.
trip.
That's probably
What?
like
Allegiant
a
Airlines is cheap, man.
Yeah.
Probably
my
like a
mom goes to
45-minute
Florida every
flight
year for like
too,
50
isn't it?
bucks.
It's
Yeah.
about a 2-hour flight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom goes
Damn.
to Florida every year for about $50 because she just wasted like. Allegiant Airlines is already cheap, but then if you wait for the certain times of year and check out the schedule things on there,
I would still
really
kind of
cheap.
rather drive to New York if I was going to go to New York because there's a lot of cool stuff to stop.
Well, there's a
at on
lot
the
of
way.
cool stuff,
Well,
but
you can't drive when you get there anyways.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
you
I made
drive
that
to
mistake.
the outskirts and then you subway in.
Yep.
Subway.
I drove
So-
right
I
into
brought it back
downtown
somehow.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, somehow
That's
he
why I
brought
did.
it back.
I drove to downtown Brooklyn, parked, and then hit the subway, and it was on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, you
I
get the
love-
subway card. You get the subway card. You get enough
That-
money on there to round trip you.
Yeah, it's like $10 all weekend.
Yes,
It was like
that's it.
Subway cost nothing, and it was like, wow. This
Gotta
is
love the
actually-
public
That's why people
transportation
do
systems
Subway
in the big
instead of
cities.
drive.
Yeah.
That's why I was slammed on screwdrivers the whole time
and
I was there.
and I feel like to really
My man.
experience New York, you need to experience the subway system because it's pretty
Yes.
cool. That
Yeah,
thing
it's
moves,
crazy. I got
man. That thing is
lost.
fast. Once you get on it, it takes off. You need to be hanging on to something if you're standing up. Or
Well,
sit
yeah,
down.
I mean,
'Cause
well,
it
me,
takes off.
I'd try and visit all the 5 boroughs in one day. You know, go down to Staten. You know,
Yeah,
It took
you ain't gonna get 'em
forever
all
to get
one
to
day.
Coney Island, man.
It-
But just the day that we took when we went there from Brooklyn to Coney Island took forever to get there.
It took about 20 minutes to get from Brooklyn to Manhattan just by
Yeah.
itself, and then I don't care if you spent a lifetime on that island, you will never see one street of it all. Like I mean, it's that big. So
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and well,
yeah, so to really experience it,
I
you
really
need to take
wanna-
at least 3 or 4 days to kind of take it
well,
in.
I'd like to take a week up there and just hit up the 5 boroughs and go to some awesome places like go to Brooklyn, go to Bensonhurst and get some classic Italian pizza. Go to Chinatown, get some awesome food there. Also, I'd love to go to Staten Island and hit up where the Wu-Tang Clan got their start up at. Just see what RZA and all them had to go
Everybody's got
through.
to see the Liberty Tower. If you're going.
Liberty, the
Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty. Go to Ellis Island, see all the landmarks there for the immigration and everything. I mean, just there's so much
a lot
to
of
do.
free stuff to do. The park's free. I mean,
I would
yeah.
hunt retro video games like I do everywhere I go.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, they held this hoodie and actually the shirt I was wearing before this. It's at the only Nintendo store in the United States, which is in New York. Yeah,
Yeah, the
and
Pokemon Center. I want
it's
to
like
see
a couple
that.
blocks down the road from one of the largest used video game stores in the United States. Dude.
And you go and
There's
stand
a
in there
ton
with
of
you,
them.
Chad.
I
You
mean,
go
it's like a
insane.
museum in there. They
Yeah.
got stuff that is just like it never came out, like prototypes of Nintendo stuff that are
Yeah.
sitting in a case. And I'm like, oh,
That's crazy to think about.
And lots of Sooubways.
Sooubway. Yeah, so tie it back yet again. Nick did it earlier, and now you've done it for us again, Chad.
This time, let's actually start it though.
Yeah, let's actually go back. Let's actually get into this. This is Sooubway Part 3. Let's see what happens.
You want to know something sad? I've earned more money from the 2 Sooubway videos I made about working at Sooubway than I
Than he
did
did working at
actually
Subway.
working at Sooubway for over a year. So here we go. Sooubway Part 3, baby. I still got more to say. I used to work there, in case you didn't know that. When I moved out and was all on my own for college, I was feeling a little lonely and homesick. So one day I decided, hey, I'm gonna get some Sooubway for lunch. Food that I used to almost eat every day and got for free for over a year, I was gonna pay full price for. I just wanted a taste of home. I wasn't expecting to ever tell this story, but it turns out the employee making my sandwich was a huge idiot. As I was waiting in line, I noticed my favorite sandwich, the Turkey Italiano, wasn't on the menu. The Turkey Italiano, by the way, is the same as the Italian BMT, but instead of ham, you put on turkey. Very simple change. I asked the worker, "Did you guys have the Turkey Italiano?" And he said, "No." So then I asked, "Can I get a BMT, but instead of ham, I have turkey?" And you know what he said to me? He said, "No." I don't think I'm asking for too much.
You're not.
You can
Sooubway,
build
the
your own
BMT and the
sandwich
Turkey
from
Italiano
scratch,
were the
I mean-
same price, okay? And what do you mean, no, you can't put on turkey? Who's stopping you? I know for a fact that you don't count the slices of turkey at the end of the night. Just hook me up, please. I'm feeling sad. So I just got the BMT with all the vegetables because it's more food for the same amount of money and I was a poor college student. And also because screw that guy. Have fun trying to close that sandwich. But then when he was all done, he put my sandwich by the cash register and then he just started helping the next customer. And they hadn't even started making their sandwich. Just ring me up so I
I'd be
can
really
leave
tempted
and
to take
then
my
help the
sandwich
next
and
person.
leave.
But
Just be like,
no,
all
I
right,
had to wait for him
see
to
ya.
finish this person's sandwich. If that wasn't so nice, I
Leave
would have
like
just took the
$5 in the
sandwich and
counter.
walked off.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because I'm so nice. I've realized telling you that story, it sounds like I'm one of those customers who complain about everything and say, "Let me talk to your manager." But really, the whole time I just stood there awkwardly. But I think I can complain a little bit. I used to work at a Sooubway. I know how things are supposed to work. Sooubway, if you're somehow watching this, you need to hire more people. Like me. Speaking of me, when I was working at Sooubway, I never liked wearing my name tag because when I was making people's sandwiches, I hated it when complete strangers would say, "Thanks, James." How did you know? Oh, right, the name tag. My name tag.
How did you
We're
know?
at
Oh,
Sooubway,
yeah.
okay? We don't need to know each other on a first name basis. Just take your food. For some reason, I don't like it when strangers know my name. But now that's all thrown out the window. This one
Yeah.
time
Yeah,
a
pretty
customer
much.
came in, and for some reason, I couldn't help but feel like I'd seen her somewhere before. Her face was so familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it. So I made her sandwich, I rang her up, she paid for it, and as she grabbed her stuff, she said, "Yeah, I'm going up to my father's funeral this weekend. After my mother died, he couldn't last that long." Oh, that's why I remember her. She came in last week telling me the same story. What are you supposed to say to that? Yeah, that really sucks. I'm just some underpaid sandwich artist with really bad people skills. Did she really not have anyone else to talk to? That just makes it extra
people do that
sad.
all
I ended
the
up
time
giving
in
her a free
retail.
cookie.
They
I'm
do.
just kidding.
Oh,
No, I
I
didn't.
hate
Luckily,
it.
my coworker
It's like,
Corey heard
well,
this and he
don't
talked to her and he was very nice. Corey's a lot better at being nice to people. One time I was closing the store, I turned off the open sign and I was opening the front door to bring in a table and chair from outside. But while I was bringing in the table, these 2 old guys got out of their car and asked, "Are you guys closed?" "Yep," is what I would have said if I wasn't so nice. Instead I said, "Ugh, fine." Even though it was past 10, I let them order their sandwiches. When they came in, the 16-year-old girl
We're
I
allowed
was
to
working
do
with
that
was
in the
not
mall.
happy. They started apologizing for coming in so late. "Oh, I didn't realize places in Arizona close so early. Blah, blah, blah. We're vampires." And I said, "It's whatever. Just order your sandwiches."
Closing at 10
And then he
is
said,
rough.
"Can I have 3 salads?" And I actually laughed. But he didn't laugh. Oh, you're being serious. I let you in past closing and you want 3 salads? Do you know how many dirty dishes that'll make? As I was making this guy's 3 salads and 16-year-old girl was making the other guy's 2-foot-long sandwiches, a third guy not associated with these two came in. Guess he didn't see the open sign got illuminated. I finished helping the 2 old guys and then I started helping the third guy and he asked, "What time do you guys close?"
Of course.
15 minutes ago. But after everything was said and done, the 2 old guys tipped us $5 and the third guy tipped us $1. So I mean, between me and the 16-year-old girl, a $3 tip ain't so bad. I actually heard from one of my old coworkers that the husband and wife owners of my old Sooubway watched my 2 other Sooubway videos. So they might be watching this one, and I just wanted to say that by letting those 3 guys in, I showed initiative and was looking out for customer satisfaction.
Yep.
Yeah. One time I brought a laser pointer into work because I knew I'd be bored, and I was. Except the boy I was working with was shining it outside at the cars driving by, and I told him not to do that because it's probably stupid, illegal, and really dangerous. Later, I was going to go clean the bathrooms. I saw the laser pointer on the counter, and I said, "Hey, dude, while I'm cleaning the bathrooms, don't shine the laser pointer at the cars." I told him that. When I was all finished cleaning, though, I saw him sitting by the window just shining the laser at the cars. At first, I wanted to go up to him and say, "Dude, stop." But then the other part of me thought, I'm not this kid's dad. I told him to stop twice and he didn't listen. Whatever happens is his problem. He ended up getting fired. Yeah, a lady came in and said, "Let me talk to your manager." And I said, I can give you her phone number. And boom, he got fired. I know I'm the one who brought in the laser pointer, but I don't really blame myself for him losing his job. That was a stupid thing for you to do, kid. Once again, I was the good employee. I mean, I didn't show that much initiative that time, though. So before I worked at Sooubway, I like to go to this taco place and get the same thing every time, the carne asada fries. Later, I learned that the carne asada fries are 2,000 calories. That was the only thing I ever got at this taco place. And I used to be super self-conscious, thinking, man, these employees must think I'm so weird coming in getting the same thing over and over. But then when I worked at Sooubway, I learned, nope, fast food employees don't care about you or your order. Unless you're mean to them or tell them that you're going to your dad's funeral, fast food employees will not remember you. One time someone came in and told me, "I'll have the usual." And I said, "I've literally never seen you before in my entire life." I didn't really say that. If any of you are working at a really slow Sooubway, here are some fun games for you to play. Cut up a loaf of bread into small pieces and make a mini sandwich with 1 meat and 3 different vegetables. Give it to your coworker and have them eat it without looking. Then they have to guess what's on the sandwich. And that's it. You can set up a point system, like they get 1 point for every ingredient they get right. Also, you can do the same game by mixing up 2 sodas and have them guess. You can walk into the freezer and see how long you can last. My record's an hour. You can bring in some vanilla ice cream and just make all sorts of stuff with that.
In there when I was loading
root beer floats.
No, my thinking on that is an hour, him in the thing for an hour. What was he on his lunch break?
Well, that's the thing is, it's like you're on the clock. You can't just be chilling in there, so... I mean, I spent over an hour in there because I was loading the truck and stuff and organizing. We were pulling everything out of the freezer to clean it and putting it back in there. And everybody else hated it, so I was offered to do it. So
like me, I don't mind spending time in the freeze, in the deep freeze. Neither. But the thing is, it's just like, if you're in there for an hour during your day of work, it's just like, that's not very good for your work rate.
As much as I hate the cold, if they were like, "Do you want to go in the back and clean the freezer for an hour or two?" I would be like, "Hell yeah!" I don't want to talk to you.
Exactly. Get you
I
away
don't have
from
to talk to anybody. I could just
That's why like every time I always went to like fast food places, I lie and tell them, I prefer actually being in the back and everything. I said I can clean like a mother. I said I will clean. And you tell them, "Oh, you like to clean?" I'm like, "Yes, I do. Let me in the back." So I don't have to be up front with annoying customers. Because once they find out I got pretty good people skills, they're like, "Oh, you run the drive-thru?" I'm like, No. Anyways.
And then after that,
then you're stuck.
Just like a big stamp of like
everybody hates the drive-thru, and once they figure out you're good at it, you will be stuck there.
Not totally ashamed to say that as a boss, like anytime that I had 2 employees working under me at the music store, I'd be like, "Guess what you guys are gonna be doing today? Running the registers."
Yep.
I'm gonna be doing some manager shit, so just hit me up if you need something.
Like, I'm gonna be doing inventory. I'm gonna be doing
sorting out.
I'm going to be
people.
counting the roofing tiles.
So I will get on a register when one of you goes on break, and that is the only time.
Yes.
Or we'll be testing these guitar strings.
Yeah.
In the back.
All right. All right, back to it.
You could take 2 cookies and put ice cream between them and make a cookie ice cream sandwich.
shit.
16-year-old girl made this thing. I think it was called the Kazuki. You put cookie dough in a bowl and then you cooked it, but not all the way, and then you put ice cream on top of it, and it was super good. You can make nachos and bread bowls, and we wasted a lot of food. I still don't know why that guy didn't give me a turkey Italiano. I mean, at my Sooubway, we made bread bowls and nachos. Okay, all right,
lazy.
here's my favorite Sooubway sandwich besides pastrami. The pastrami's good, but it's expensive. So the next best thing, aka what I usually get, is the turkey Italiano on wheat bread and provolone cheese. And whenever I made mine, I would put on extra meat and extra cheese. So I guess if you want to recreate my sandwich, you have to get double meat and double cheese, which, if you ask me, is the standard amount of cheese and meat you should put on the sub. Toast it, obviously, and then you put all the vegetables on it besides banana peppers and jalapenos and only a little bit of pickles. So actually, I did ask the first guy to put on all the vegetables, not out of revenge, but because I actually like all the vegetables on my sub. Then a little bit of mayo. They normally put on so much mayo, just ask for 1 stripe. And then the same amount of mustard, and then some oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper, and then wrap that puppy up. And I was going to insult a sandwich
Sounds
that Sooubway
terrible.
has, but if Sooubway is ever going to hire me as their new spokesperson because they need one, I can't be insulting one of the sandwiches in a video.
I wouldn't want to take that, dude.
It was the meatball. The meatball's a horrible sandwich. Okay, there are good meatball marinara sandwiches out there. It's just the ones at Sooubway are dumb. I do want to say something about the plushies. I know I said in the last video that they were going to be out by Christmas, but that didn't happen. They were shipped out late. But as of right now, they have shipped already, and you should have gotten a confirmation email. So if you haven't gotten yours, then they should be arriving very, very soon, is what I'm saying. Thanks for watching. Happy, good way to start out the
Dragon
new
Prince.
year, and wear your seatbelt.
That's a little Dragon Prince deviant art. That's pretty cool. I like my Dragon Prince. Waiting for season 3 soon.
All right, and here's part 4. The final sandwich.
Final sandwich.
The final sandwich.
Guys, buy my card game. It's at Target. All right, here's the video now. Sooubway will always hold a special place in my empty heart, not because I have fond memories working there, but because some of you really liked it when I talked about working there. And I made buckets with those videos compared to what I was making at Sooubway, which was nice. Apparently I was hashtag relatable enough to connect with millions of people, and it took my channel to where it is today. And then less than 2 weeks later, I made a part 2 to that video, and I struck an even bigger chord with people. Who likes the sequel better than the original? People think that I use the word Sooubway in my
surprised.
videos so I wouldn't get sued. This is not true. I wasn't successful enough to get sued. They had other problems to deal with at the time. I couldn't. In my first video, I said, I used to work at a very small local sandwich shop. I don't know if any of you guys heard of it. It's called Sooubway. I was making you think that I worked at an unknown place, and then I subverted your expectations by saying I worked at Sooubway. But now, at this point in my career, I am calling my previous place of employment Sooubway because I don't want to get soobed. The most requests I get for a video is Sooubway Part 4, but I never really considered making another one because I don't work there anymore. I have no new stories to talk about the place. But something happened recently, and I do want to talk about it. You see, the Sooubway I used to work at closed down.
Aw.
And I am so deeply upset at this news that the only way for me to cope is to make one last video about it. So this story happened a couple of years after I quit working at Sooubway. I was behind on a video, so that meant I was in a mentally damaging mindset called crunch mode, and I had been working all day, and I started getting hungry, and I still hadn't taken Floof on a walk, so I decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and eat Floof. Just kidding. I decided to take Floof on a walk to my local Sooubway. And before I entered the store, I picked up Floof and held her in my arms, because I'm not a psychopath. I know taking your dog into a restaurant is tacky and a health code violation, but this is a Sooubway we're talking about. I know how laid back it is here. There are no rules or health codes. One time when I was working at my Sooubway, this 10-year-old kid came in wearing a swimsuit and literally nothing else. And he was unsupervised. He didn't want a sandwich, all he wanted was a cookie, but this kid wasn't wearing shoes or a shirt, the 2 things you need to get service at a restaurant. So did I tell this shirtless delinquent to get lost? No, he had money, so I did business with him. I don't discriminate against shirtless people. Look, his mom was probably at the grocery store next door, and he just got done with swimming lessons, and he said something like, "Mother, I would be most grateful if you let me consume a pastry with high levels of sugar and simple carbohydrates." And his mom probably said, yeah, whatever, nerd, go get something at Sooubway. So the point of this story is to let you know that I was the kind of employee who, as long as you were willing to pay for your food, didn't care what you were wearing or what health code you were violating. This is a gosh darn Sooubway. So I walk in with Floof, and it's completely empty, by the way. Seems like I'm the only one in this town that even likes Sooubway. And the worker, aka the only other person in the store, said, is that a service animal? Floof's not a service animal, unless the service you want is someone to chew up all your stuff and bark at everyone. But she still emotionally supports me. When I tell her, I'm gonna die alone, she tries to make me feel better by licking the inside of my nose. But I didn't want to lie to this guy about Floof's emotional support status, because if I said yes, and he said prove it, I would be in trouble. So like the emotionally stable enough to not need a dog person that I am, I said, no. And he said, she can't be in here. If the health inspector came in, they would fire me on the spot. Which, like, geez, dude, you're gonna let the health inspector treat you like that? Stand up for yourself once in a while. So I said, okay, I'll leave. Yeah, there are other restaurants in walking distance, Sooubway guy. The ramen place lets me order with Floof in my arms all the time. I know this because I've already been there twice this week, and the only reason I'm even getting Sooubway is because I don't want the ramen employees thinking that I'm a weird guy who brings my non-emotional support dog everywhere. You missed out, Sooubway. Do you know who I am? I used to work here. And then the guy called my bluff. He said, wait, we can make it fast. As fast as Jimmy John's? This kid's standing up for himself. I'm proud of him. I knew exactly what to tell him. I want a foot-long ham sandwich on Italian bread with American cheese. I know that's the hardest cheese to pull apart with gloves on, but whatever. He sped run putting on the meat and cheese, and then he asked me, what kind of vegetables? And in my mind I went, hold on, you didn't ask me if I wanted it toasted. I see what you're doing. You're trying to get this sandwich finished as quickly as possible, so you're not even going to ask me if I want it toasted and hope I forgot. Well, it's okay, because I didn't want it toasted, but I'm onto you. And then Floof jumped over the counter, peed on the olives, and bit the guy in the jugular. And then licked the inside of his nose. Some people take their job way too seriously. Well, at least some Sooubway workers are more laid back like me. Like this one time not too long ago, I went back to the Sooubway I used to work at, and I didn't recognize any of the people there. But someone did get recognized in that store. Me. One of the workers said, are you the guy that made the cartoon about working here? And I said, yeah. And then I decided to make his job interesting by telling him, hey kid, this is the place. What? This is where it all happened, kid. These floors are the very same floors that I used to mop. You missed a spot over there. And this kid lost all 6 of his olives. Okay, I don't use my fame to get into places I'm not supposed to, usually. But this kid was so excited, and I used to work here, so I asked him, can I go in the back? Which is probably breaking a bajillion health code violations, but this kid didn't care, he let me in. It had been 3 years since I had been back there, and literally nothing had changed. I don't know if any of you have ever moved out of your parents' house, and then 3 years later you went back to visit and saw your childhood bedroom, but it was that sort of feeling. The chip boxes were still in the same place. Inside the freezer, all the food was pretty much where I left it, and the bulletin board had all the same papers. One of the papers was a list of all the employees with their names and phone numbers, and that list was so old that it still had all of my old coworkers' names and numbers, and it even had my own name and number still on the sheet. It had been crossed out, but I still went, ah! And I punched it out with a pencil. Maybe that's how my phone number got leaked. And then I thought, I wonder if the other number is still here. In the very back of the room, there was this desk, and I got down on the gross, unmopped floor, and I scooted underneath the desk, and oh my gosh, it's still here. When I used to work there, one of my coworkers found the store's Wi-Fi password and wrote it down on the bottom side of the desk, so then everyone could watch Netflix instead of work. And the employee had no idea it was there, and he typed it into his phone, and it still worked. All right, don't tell people that I told you this, I said. We can't let anyone know this secret. But then the place closed down, so now no one can get in trouble. Anyways, I'm gonna miss that place. It was gross, and I didn't love working there, but in the end, it was the most memorable job I had as a teenager, as it was the only other job that I had. It formed a good work ethic, I made new friends, and I even got to eat free food sometimes. But now I might get sued for this video, so we'll see what happens. So now, every time I walk into Sooubway with my non-service animal, a little part of me will be sad that my old Sooubway is in ruins. Okay, maybe it's not in ruins, but they'll probably turn it into a nail salon or something. Nothing lasts forever, so it's time to give Sooubway a proper burial.
Oh, no. Dang it, James. Come on, dude. It's just not the same.
Little plastic shovel.
Nice toy shovel there, James. James, that's littering. You may make the sandwich, but the sandwich you eat makes you who you are. Albert
Okay.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Good one, James. Good
No
one.
doubt.
That was good.
He's
That was
even
good.
funny outside the animation.
Oh yeah. Still
Just
fun.
sucks he's not allowed to eat sandwiches anymore.
Right?
I know,
'Cause
right?
I wonder, like, what
That
town
was
he's
his
from.
last
Like,
one.
Is that the only Subway in his town? Because we got, like, what?
No, he said that there were two in the
Wow,
first
we got
first
4 or
video. He
5
said
here.
that there were two because
We've had like 20 Subways here,
Yeah,
and
they
like
all just moved.
10 of them were closed or moved to another location. So
We got one in the college, Northeast State.
yeah. They got one at the hospital. They got one on State. They got one on Main. They got one at Exit 7.
Subway's pretty popular.
Got one on West State. We got one on
the dumbest thing to
Parkway.
me is there's one in Bluntville that's literally a 30-second drive from another one.
No, there are a lot of them.
Oh,
like
the
that.
one at the gas station's not there no more.
Oh,
That's right.
Close, so,
Uh,
yeah.
But you want to know the most ridiculous thing to me is that within a 15-mile radius of each other, there's not one, not two, but 3 Walmarts.
Yeah.
There's one at exit 19, one at exit 7, and one at exit 1.
Yeah. That's like, yeah.
There's a lot of rednecks to go to them, man.
Yeah. Well,
And guess
I
what?
mean,
They're all successful.
Yep.
That's the amazing thing.
They-
When
they
you
will
walk
be-
into
They're
the
kind
Walmart
of in
and they got
different areas,
NASCAR
though,
stuff
so it's
everywhere,
like
it's
But
like,
still, though,
they're far
man.
enough apart to be convenient for different people.
Dude, I worked at this one Walmart, and in my hometown, we drew business from Ohio. People from Ohio came to our Walmart at least on a weekly basis.
When I'm out of town and stuff, like, working as a PA and stuff, and you got to go get, like, stuff,
Walmart.
whatever, I always used to Google the closest Walmart because I know they're going to have it.
Yeah.
Or whatever I'm getting because
Yeah,
they have everything.
or if you need an electrical component
Yeah.
and you don't
Well,
think Walmart will have it, Google the nearest Best Buy.
I had, for example, I was a PA one time, I had to go buy 9 coolers. I had to buy 9 coolers, and then I had a grocery list of, like, snacks and other stuff that I get for each cooler. I had to get a thing of tape and write each person's name on each cooler. And we ran through, stocked up each and every cooler and everything. I had to buy, like, drinks, paper towels. I had to buy paper plates, all that stuff. And then they were like, oh, yeah, we need you to buy a biggest pack of AA you can buy. I was like, okay.
It was like a 24 or 36
Yeah, I get like a
pack.
big pack of like Duracell or something like that.
Nice.
And then they'll usually have you buy like oddball stuff like just like weather coats or spare ponchos and stuff to throw over top of like non-waterproof equipment. I've had to
Yeah.
buy a tent. Yeah, just Walmart has all that stuff, so it's easy to just kind of Google it, pull up, and go. So
Nice.
they should call it convenience store because gas stations don't get that right.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I worked in the music store, it's like we had business from like way up in Virginia all the time, and people
Oh,
were
yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'd come here more often. You guys are just so far away." And so It's like that's the same thing with Walmart. They put them to where people can get to them easily.
Yeah, it's just within 20 miles. There's three very big Walmarts.
I've been to some Walmarts that are outdated too.
Oh,
wow!
They
I feel
ain't,
like I'm
they
walking
ain't got
back into
shit
the
on
90s,
Dollar
right?
General though.
no, Dollar General's ridiculous.
Oh,
Dollar
God.
General will be on Mars, bro. That'll be the
very
first
moment we
thing.
colonize
you remember
Mars, the
when
first store that'll be
video
up will be a
games
freaking
section
Dollar
at Walmart
General.
was right in the middle of the store instead of at the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Really?
I was driving
Years
on a
ago.
trip at some point, like in the past several
90s,
years, and like went to a Walmart out in Podunk nowhere and walked in, and the video game section was still in the middle of the store, and I was like, "Did I go back in time?"
No, the one in Big Stone used to be like that.
Well,
It used to
I
be
remember-
smack dab in the middle of the store.
Yeah.
And I also remember
It's like
the-
that's what
Wait,
Walmart
was it
looked
more
like, when I
like the
got my
jewelry
PlayStation 2.
section back
Yes.
then?
Yeah.
Was
Yes.
It was like right across.
okay?
From the electronics
But like
section.
they had like
It
the
was kinda
counters
walled
were
off.
low.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
could walk in there, and
yeah,
the
you gotta
racks
walk
were in the
into
middle.
the electronics section.
Yep.
Okay, I remember that.
And
now.
like towards the front of the store was like
Holy
PC games,
shit,
and towards
dude.
the back was the other video games.
you just unlocked like
I
part of my
bought-
brain I didn't even know
Right?
I had. Yeah.
Right. And that's
Well, I
when I
did
bought
that,
my PlayStation 2,
What the
a
fuck?
PlayStation 1 memory card, and Final Fantasy 9 at Walmart.
Yep.
Damn.
Well, I remember the food
I might
city,
cry. Thank you
The
for my
food
childhood.
city over here on Virginia Avenue has not been remodeled since '96. And if you walk in there, it's like walking back in time.
Well,
Now, the registers are newer, but like the floors, the colors, and all that stuff, like
I
it's
know
kind of like
the-
going to an old Taco Bell. They're
I
like,
know
Yeah.
the one call center that we had that's on the one that you talked about. You were going to work at?
Teleperformance.
Yeah,
Yep.
Teleperformance.
That's actually
That used to be a Walmart.
one of the old Walmarts.
That
Before
was
that,
actually
it was a
Walmart number
Touchstone.
20, I think.
Yeah.
That's the Walmart where I bought my PS2.
Yeah.
That's
That-
Walmart where I
Fantasy
used to
now.
buy
It
my
was
stuff. at,
number
too.
20.
One of the earliest ones, like in the single digits, was in Big Stone.
Yeah, that was dude.
It just closed
Bought a
down.
lot
Yep.
of stuff from Kmart too before it was called Big K.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I remember in our hometown we had the shopping center that had Walmart, and then that one was in Norton, and the Kmart shopping center was in Wise, and then the Kmart shut down, and it became Ollie's, and then
Oh, yeah.
and then the Walmart moved up on top of the hill
Yeah.
and got put in a much bigger building and a much bigger shopping center, and in where the Walmart used to be went Magic Mart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And-
so I noticed one thing on there. He said the Subway was his only other real job. I've had like 50, and I'm not making that up. I've had a lot of.
Oh, I've
jobs.
had a lot of jobs
Like,
too.
Whoa, so I'm not sure how old he is either, though. You know, I mean, I worked at a Little Caesar for 6 months, Wendy's for 2 years, then went to Walmart, then went to Shields, and then went back to Little Caesar. Actually, back to Wendy's, and then back to Little Caesars, and then a factory for 6.5 years. Oh yeah, I worked at the sheriff's office down there sometime. Then the Marines, and then just a bunch of oddball jobs in between. Oh yeah, I worked for a construction company for a while. Then I worked a power lining company where we just delivered cables. Yeah, there's a lot of little small jobs here and there, and yeah, I have a lot of good memories with a lot of different jobs. I could tell stories for days about job history, just stupid shit I've done at different jobs and stupid stuff that's
If you
happened.
count this one, I've had 7.
Nice.
Not very many.
Let's see.
I held a lot, like several of them for a long
My
amount of
first
time.
job was the summer job I worked at my family business, and then after my granddad died, it shut down. So my first official job outside of that was Food City. Got fired from Food City and went to Hardee's. Quit Hardee's, and then I went to Sykes, Walmart, Sprint.
I worked for a couple
AT&T.
temp services too, doing
Uh,
remodeling and stuff. And
Yeah, and
a few jobs. It's like, yeah, it's kind of. I mean, I'm not hating or anything like that, but it's kind of strange when somebody's like only had like one other job or. One
Yeah, I
now,
worked
when
a
they're
shit
not
ton of
18 or
them.
19, I get it, but.
And they all sucked, so I don't even give a fuck
Oh,
to
yeah,
talk about
I
them.
pushed carts at Food City when I was 14.
Fuck those
for
jobs.
summer jobs.
I did 4 years at GameStop, 4 years at FYE. Collectively, like a year between ACT and Ajero, 2 call centers. And then I worked at Food City myself as an overnight stalker, most recently. And I worked at a place that built night vision goggles for about 3 months. And then I worked here. That's all the places I worked.
Nice.
well. So, any jobs out there you all have worked that have fond memories of or anything like that? I mean, feel free to let us know in the comments down below. I mean, because hey, I'm willing to hear some stories
What's the most fun job you've ever worked at? Not
Here.
the job itself, but like
here.
just funny experiences.
Oh, funny experiences.
Yeah, like just
My
stupid
family
shit.
job.
Okay.
My family, the family business we had.
Mine
back
was
in the day.
Wendy's. We threw down some dumb shit at Wendy's.
Oh, dude.
We would
Me
mess
and-
with some of our employees. We had this one employee. She was like total ditzy blonde, and I can't remember her name or anything. But she worked up front. We would always just kind of joke with her and mess with her and stuff like that. She was fun. She was funny.
What?
And one day we decided when she was on drive-through, because she had a drive-through, we would take the big metal dolly that we used to unload the truck stuff and roll it up out in the back, right in front of the take order here place. And it's a magnetic strip underneath there. So if you put something big metal on it, it beep, shh, beep, shh. Hey, thank you for coming to Wendy's. How may I help you? You know, and then we'd get on there and just mess with her. Oh yeah, I want a bowl of that mac and cheese. Is that Velveeta? We don't sell mac and cheese. What? What the hell do you mean you don't sell macaroni and cheese?
We actually did something like that.
You know, we
there
just
was
messed with her.
There was this one woman that we worked with at Hardee's. Her name was Darlene, and she had a boyfriend at the time who would come through, and he'd just be like, "Darlene, Darlene," and we heard that, and we're like, "Oh God, Steve's here." So we go out and we'd be like, "What's up, Steve?" And he's just like, "Darlene working here?" And we're like, "No, she's not here." And then nights where Steve wouldn't come up, and she was working there. Me and Evan, we'd go outside and we'd just be like, we'd hit the little thing, and be like, and she'd be like, "Hello, welcome to Hardee's. How may I help you?" Darlene.
God.
And then all of a sudden she'd be like, "Steve, is that you?" And we like, "No, it's us.
So,
We're just messing with you."
My friend Justin, he's kind of a loudmouth, and he's not very conscious of keeping his volume down. It didn't matter if customers.
What else is new?
So I'm up front. I'm at the front taking this person comes in. One person.
Oh, no.
She comes in and orders 24 burgers. And we're talking like big ones. She was feeding like something, and it was just like it was kind of late. It was like 5 minutes before Justin was leaving. He comes in there. I'm sitting there laughing up, and I put burger times 24, and the whole screen just fills up. Next thing you know, you hear out the back, "Jesus fucking Christ!"
I can actually hear you're just sitting up there and you hit order confirm. All of a sudden you hear, "Boop, boop."
Yeah, you played with.
What the fuck?
Yeah, y'all played with Justin before. He's nuts. I mean, but dude, I'm sitting there, had everything I had not to just crack the fuck up. Dude.
I'd be in the floor, dude. I could like as many times as we.
Oh, she was kind of snickering too. I mean, it was just like, well, she said 24. I was like the number
hell?
24. Like, you want 24 of these? Yes. I'm like, okay. Jesus
That's off,
fucking
you know?
Christ. Dude, it was funny as hell.
We've gone for 37 minutes
Yeah,
on
yeah.
a 9-minute video, and people are going to bitch about that in the comments.
No, actually, yeah, it's 2 videos: an 8-minute video and a 9.
Oh, right, yeah, I forgot.
Keep,
Okay, so.
'cause,
All right,
yeah.
so it's not that bad.
No, not bad at all.
Okay.
So anyway, everybody,
Still, I
thank
do have
you all
more
very
to do.
much for tuning in. If you want to see the original videos, feel free to check out Odd Ones Out down below in the description. And also, if you want to see more from us, subscribe button, bell that you can ring to stay notified. Be sure to like the video. And until next time, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Jacob.
I'm Chad.
And we'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.